these two words, bounce back, right? They mean so much to us in 2021. 2 साल पहले अगर हमने ये कैंपेन किया होता तो शायद ही इसका कोई मतलब होता. But पिछला साल जो रहा है has been obviously a game changer for many of us. A lot of us saw lots of success, all right, pre-pandemic. A lot of us made steps in directions pre-pandemic, and then suddenly the pandemic just put a full stop, or what we thought might be a full stop. But that's the spirit of human nature, right? We come back and we say we can do something. So pre-pandemic, अगर हम ये 2 शब्द कहते bounce back, then it wouldn't have meant so much. But I think in 2021 it means a lot more. I'm really excited to be joined by some people who I know personally, of course, क्योंकि like Pankaj जो है हमारे साथ, he is the co-partner, if I would say that, of one of my favorite institutions, as I would call it, Woodside, which is in Mumbai. And वहाँ पर मैंने न जाने कितनी बार मैंने खाना खाया है, दोस्तों के साथ एक शाम बिताई है. So Pankaj, thank you so much for representing the hospitality industry on the panel today. Thank you so much for joining.
Thank you very much, Rohini.
बहुत शुक्रिया. अक्षय राठी को मैं जानती हूँ because the two of us of course are very very involved with music and with the cinema, right? वो गाने भी सुनते हैं रेडियो पर, रेडियो नशा सुनते हैं, but he's a film distributor and exhibitor, and he's been part of this for quite a long time, and he's carrying forward a 70-year-old legacy in show business. So thank you so much for representing the film distribution and exhibition business today, Akshay. Thank you for joining me.
Thank you for having me, Rohini.
बहुत शुक्रिया. And I'm saving the best for the last because somebody on the screen, Mr. Shripal Morakia, honestly अगर हम स्क्रीन पर नहीं होते then I would just call him uncle, because मैंने अपने college के दिन इनके घर में बिताए हैं. I mean, literally, when I was a lost child, he took me in, literally, and gave me the love and the support and the affection that I needed when I was growing up. So, uncle, बाकी वक्तों के लिए, but for right now, Mr. Shripal Morakia, founder and chief imagination officer, as he calls himself, for Smash. And Smash is, of course, an institution, all over the country. So thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
It's been a tough time, so I'm going to take this around the room. Pankaj, I know that फिलहाल के लिए, of course, मुंबई शहर में ये खुल चुके हैं restaurants and bars. And as someone who obviously runs this operation, I want you to take me back to that time जहाँ पर हमें लगा था कि pandemic सिर्फ 7 दिन का होगा. तुम्हें याद है? 1 हफ्ता बंद करना है, उसके बाद शुरू कर लेंगे. And the fact that then it became such an extended period of time. It's been 16 months that we're talking today, right? 16 महीने. Take me back to that time where you thought, oh my God, things are not what it seems like. It's going to be a long haul.
So basically, I think March 22nd, 2020 को first lockdown announce हुआ. And at that time, I think सब लोगों के मन में था कि हाँ, ये 30 दिन चलेगा, चलो 2 महीना चलेगा, 3 महीना चलेगा. Unfortunately, in Maharashtra, it didn't. It went on for at least our industry until October. We were shut for dine-in services. March 23rd को हमने बंद किया dine-in services, और October 6th onwards we were allowed to start. So वहाँ पे 6 महीने हमने हमारी जो पूरी industry है, we were shut down. We were allowed for delivery, but that constitutes only 10 to 15% of our total revenues, whereas the costs are for the rentals, in the manpower costs. These are all costs that pile on. So we at that point we didn't know what to expect. It was a very very harrowing time for the industry. Unpredictability थी market में कि क्या होने वाला है, कैसे survive होंगे हम, landlord से कैसे बात करेंगे, team के लिए सब कुछ नया था, right? We've never navigated these waters before as an industry. So those were the thoughts going on in our head. Unfortunately, within the first 3 months of the lockdown, there were already fatalities. Already बहुत सारी जो restaurants है मुंबई में वो बंद हो चुकी है. और 3 महीने, March 22nd, April, May, June, वहाँ वो जो 3 महीने थे उसमें भी बहुत सारी restaurants बंद हुई थी.
And we're going to come back and ask you how you made that bounce back, but I'm going to take this to Mr. Morakia at this point. Mr. Morakia, Smash, I know for a fact, was always the sort of entertainment center that India might not have imagined. They say you need the guts to imagine something like this, right? And I remember कितने excited थे हम, क्योंकि our favorite cricketers would actually bowl to us. They would actually come, and you created this sort of space for people to come in. So the essence of this business was people coming in. Tell me, take me back to that time when people couldn't come in, and when you realize, oh my God, it's going to be a long time before people can come in again.
Ma'am, I think the most important thing is I have been in business now for 40 years. I'm 62 years old now. And I have seen success and failure as the same side of the coin. So I don't believe in the word comeback and other things. I believe in karma. Karma ensured that I had a good time for 60 years. And then 2 years, probably, my bad karma overtook me, and whatever happened, happened. Fortunately for me, basically, everyone who mattered supported. Mm-hmm. We were at 7 lakh square feet before this ended. Approximately 4 lakh square feet of Smash is already open as of yesterday. And another 3 lakh square feet of Smash around India will be open by March. So I have been very fortunate on the karma side that everyone who mattered supported to me, whether it is my customers who walked in and bought the tickets, or the malls who believed in our concept. Everyone, all my employees, they were my greatest strength. Everyone supported me. And I think it was a great learning exercise that success or failure does not depend on your intelligence. It depends on your plan, karma. And I think जो कर्म अधीन होते हैं वो बच गए, जो कर्म अधीन नहीं थे वो इस लड़ाई में मर गए.
Oh, that gives it a very philosophical angle at this point, of course, because it can only come from somebody who's seen way more than the rest of us, right? And it's beautiful. Thank you. It's also comforting. It's also comforting because it also means that you have a certain ethic to your business, and that keeps you in good stead. So we're going to come back to that in just a little bit. But what a positive, sort of like angle to take this in. Actually, I don't know if it's possible to keep that positivity though when it comes to a business like film distribution. Because even now, Maharashtra does not have movie theaters that are open. And I'll tell you, I am somebody who visits all 3 of your establishments, right? I am that person. I am the consumer. I'd love to go, either go and have a game at Smash, and then I'll go for a movie. And then after that, of course, I'll go to dinner at Woodside, right? This would be my Saturday or my Sunday. मुझे बताइए अक्षय कि अब महाराष्ट्र में अब तक थिएटर्स खुले नहीं हैं. What is keeping the theatre business even like hopeful कि ये खुलेगा, ये खुल सकता है?
रोहिणी, जो आपने अभी कहा था about what your ideal weekend plan is, the knowledge of the fact that there are people like these who love to go out, enjoy the movies, love to go out to restaurants, love to go out to recreational places. अगर आप देखें जो एक कॉमन फैक्टर है जो हम 3 लोगों को जोड़ता है, that is entertainment, dining and gaming are 3 very different segments, but all the 3 of them fall under the umbrella of outdoor recreation.
Yes.
और जो हम इंसान होते हैं, we are wired to be outgoing people, as they say, humans are social animals. तो हम ये तो नहीं हो सकता कि घर पे बैठ के मैं टीवी देखता रहूंगा और अपने घर पे बैठ के मेरा कोई दोस्त टीवी देखता रहेगा. हम लोग बाहर जाते हैं मूवीज देखने because it's a collective viewing experience. We go out to a place like Smash because you go out to play or bowl with your friends. You go out to a restaurant मतलब आपके दोस्तों के साथ, आपके परिवार के साथ बाहर जाना चाहते हैं. तो मेरे ख्याल से जो एक माइंडसेट है, ह्यूमन साइकोलॉजी है, that just makes it necessary for these kind of sectors to exist. We are the escapism, in fact, from जो बीती है लोगों पे पिछले 1.5 साल में. मैं तो पूरे दावे के साथ कह सकता हूँ कि रेस्टोरेंट्स, गेमिंग सेंटर्स, सिनेमा हॉल्स, जब भी ये पैंडेमिक प्लेटो हो जाएगा, and when these sectors are allowed to function with absolute normalcy, there will be huge pent-up demand that will surge these sectors to the kind of business that none of us have probably seen in our careers.
Wow, so that is, again, I see the thread. I don't know how, it's just the आशावादी इंसानों का पैनल बनाया है मैंने, मुझे ऐसे लगता है. Very optimistic, but that's what this is, right? Pankil, I know that we're talking about the hope for things, but let me take this to you at this point and ask you, इस वक्त मुंबई शहर में restaurants can function until 10 p.m. I don't think it's enough because I finish working at 7. You know, आज मैं जा रही हूँ. I'm going to Bandra to have, you know, dinner. But I hope I'll get there in time because by 10 I have to finish. Do you think economically the 10 p.m. deadline works for you, or do you say at least something is better than nothing?
Although the 10 p.m. deadline is not ideal, don't forget we are still maintaining a 50% social distancing guidelines in our restaurant.
Yes, yes.
Alternative tables and so on and so forth. And right, like Akshay pointed out, there's so much pent-up demand that it actually makes sense to allow us to open till 1:30 so we can safely and in a proper manner ensure that the demand is fulfilled. What you're doing is you're constraining demand and you're not doing anything about it. Demand exists. People do want to go out. People are in Bombay, like we have 25 lakh people who are fully vaccinated and they want to go out. They want to go to restaurants. They want to go see films. They want to go to gaming centers. So, constraining these deadlines is very, very tough. Thankfully, like Mr. Morakhia said, we have support from our team members, we have support from our landlords who also understand that we can't go from 0 to 100 immediately and overnight. That support does come in, and it's funny he said this because the only reason I feel that we as an organization, we as people have survived is because of the goodwill that we've built up over the last decade or plus in the business. And because of that, our landlords, our team members know that they will support us in this time being. And when things were good, everything was going on time, everything was great. So this is their time to show us the support, and they're doing that. So there are complications, but now I think we've found, at least most places, we are lucky, fortunate to have found that balance.
That's fantastic. I want to take this to Mr. Morakhia. Mr. Morakhia, we talked about karma and we talked about how that is holding you in good stead. But take me back to a time when, what was the biggest concern with the business, all right, when things didn't seem like they were opening up for somebody like you? Because you're a maverick, you've dabbled in many forms of entertainment before this as well. And I think success and failure is something that you take, as you said, two sides of a coin. But was there ever a point in this pandemic where you felt, oh my God, this is actually not a great sign, not just for my business, but for business as a whole, for the entire business community?
See, I am also human at the end of the day, and sometimes fears do engulf you. And in July, I wrote to all my employees that I don't think I have the guts to restart this business. 700,000 square feet, having your legs spread so large, whether I will succeed or not, I did not have the courage. And that mail to my employees leaked out in the press, and a lot of damage was done to the brand, But at the end of the day, I again thought of it spiritually, and I said, I have undertaken a mission. The mission is a good mission. It is to make family out of friends and friends out of family. For me, the value my business gets is if a son hits Sachin Tendulkar off a phone and looks at his father and the father gives him a thumbs up. For me, the purpose of starting Smash has been served. And somehow that motivation kept me alive, basically. And it gave me the strength to talk to all my constituents. And once the fear subsided, there was no looking back. I think one thing I have learned is many businesses that are dying right now are also not because of lack of money or lack of this. It is because fear has engulfed them. I think we have to get out of this fear mentality and go into a more constructive mentality that I can do it. My purpose is good. My intentions are good. I don't know why I should not succeed. I think once that spirit takes you over, there is nothing stopping you.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for that. Akshay, talk to me about, the practicality of something like this. Simply because movie theaters are still banned, right? अब malls खुल गए हैं, लेकिन malls में लोग जा नहीं पा रहे हैं because mall का staff जो है वो vaccinated नहीं है. जब movie theaters खुलेंगे बिल्कुल ऐसे ही होने वाला है. आप कहेंगे पूरे staff को vaccinate कराओ, तब जाकर लोग अंदर जा सकते हैं. Practically, like how long can you survive with keeping your institution shut is the question, because you're still paying salaries, no?
Absolutely. So Rohini, on that front, with God's grace, we've been fortunate where we've been able to, of course, not the full salaries, but partial salaries through these months, even of closure. We've been able to, continue paying to all the people who've been associated with us as employees or as partners for all this while. So that has happened, and of course, along with that, there are minimum demand charges for electricity. There's, there are maintenance charges for that volume, which is pretty big in the case of cinema halls. So these expenses have been there, and right from March 2020 to virtually now, barring those few months between November and Feb, earlier, the cinema halls were shut. So that meter of expenses has been ticking, and the income's been barely minimal, which has unfortunately resulted in a lot of casualties in this sector. So a lot of cinema halls have shut shop. Some possibly, are going to wait and watch and on the fence about whether they want to come back into the sector or not. Others have, decided to down their shutters permanently, which is unfortunate. So I truly believe that, it's been a tough time. And I truly believe that, as they say, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. So these 18 months, if at all, of course, they've been tough. But they've also taught us that there are ways to really readjust to the scenario that we are going through and plan accordingly for, the worst case scenario and see how we can survive through it. So here's the thing that we realize, that we have all these spaces and we have a workforce of so many people. And there's no absolute clarity around when we'll open up and when the cinemas will go back to the kind of form that they were in before the pandemic. So the idea was to try and see if using these resources, we can pivot, we can try and, utilize this workforce in some other way, which will at least, minimize the bleeding financially. And there are other avenues we did get into using the same, workforce, using the same resources, which has thankfully helped us survive this time.
But give me an example of that. Like, how could you use a cinema hall differently? How could you engage your employees or your staff differently? Is there an example you could share with us?
Well, of course. So we operate most of our cinemas in smaller towns, right? And in a lot of these smaller towns, the population has grown substantially. The things like vehicles have grown substantially, but the infrastructure in terms of roads, parking spaces takes a while before they can really be substantial to accommodate this growth of population and vehicles and all that has happened. So at some places where there were facilities to be able to use the food and beverages section were turned into cloud kitchens. The parking spaces were utilized to accommodate the overload of parking in those areas. So of course these revenues were nowhere close to what they used to be when the cinemas were running. Correct. But then having said that, at least some bit of income started coming in, which could offset some bit of the salary that was being paid out. So I think innovation, has been innovation and pivoting has been the key to survival for a lot of businesses, and that only can happen, as Sir said, when you have that will and that determination to survive a scenario like that. And most businesses, I think, which have that ability to think on their feet, be nimble and pivot based on the demands of the situation, I think have done well for themselves and they should survive. And once they do, I hate to say this because a lot of entities in every sector are shutting down, right?
Yes.
So once that is, will have lesser competition in a market where there'll be pent-up demand. So the ones that have made it, the ones that decided to stay on, the ones that decided to fight it out, will probably have a dream run going ahead.
Wow, that's so, I'm sorry, I'm getting goosebumps at this point, but we had to pivot as well, right? As radio professionals, एक दिन मुझे छुट्टी नहीं दी, क्योंकि when the city is going through a crisis, अब मुझे याद है, I think my growing up in the radio happened when 26/11 हुआ था. तो मैंने कुछ साल पहले ही रेडियो ज्वाइन किया. 26/11 में मुझे एहसास हुआ कि जिस दिन मेरा शहर ठीक नहीं है, बाकी के टाइम I can be coming and saying, hi guys, I'll play you this song. But when the city is in trouble, that's when you need to be there, right? And I remember fighting with my parents saying, I need to get to the station. This was a similar time, except 26/11 3 दिन थे, मुझे याद है, okay, that Mumbai was under siege. This has been an extended period of 16 months, right? Pankaj, my next question is for you. What do you think, was the one thing that you actually did as Jessica Akshay ne kaha, they turned around. They said, let's use the same facilities to do other things. What did you do with the restaurants? And did you manage to actually, get some steam going ताकि ये engine फिर से चल पाए आपके लिए?
No, I mean, I think, restaurants are designed for dine-in services.
Yes.
There are no alternative socially distant usages of such prime properties. Restaurants are usually in the most high-end locations, in the sense that where crowds are usually there. That's why you want a restaurant to be. The only thing we had to depend on was deliveries. Now, what happened with the shutdown was कि लोग घर पे थे, लोगों को खाना था. They were ordering a lot. So we saw a little bit of an increase in deliveries. Again, nothing close to even large percentage of dining, but we did go from say 10-15% of revenues to 20% of revenues, but 80%, which is dine-in services, were still shut. What we did was we realized that this is going to be here for a while. We had to unfortunately shut down 2 restaurants in the beginning, the Pantry and Bombay Vintage. We had to shut down, and we decided, at least with the Pantry, to go online using the cloud kitchen format. Also, we are known for our burgers. So very soon we're going to be launching a Woodside Burger Shop in different neighborhoods in Bombay, because burgers are very well consumed. It's something we've been doing well for.
I could do with one right now. So
there you go.
Of course.
So those are the methods that we've employed to increase the revenue as much as possible, to offset, as Akshay said, some part of the manpower cost. Some part, at least our team can eat. At least our team has some way of surviving this pandemic, and that was the thought process. All of them have taken massive cuts in pay. Some of them have gone months without employment, but yet they are back. They are working their heads off to ensure that they can give the quality of service that guests are demanding. So even though we've not been able to completely pivot, we've tried in the way of delivery services, and at least that has given us the confidence of creating that as a permanent stream of new revenue. That's one way of looking at it as well.
I do want to ask you though, if you'd like to share with us at this point, Mr. Morakia, this question is still for you. What is the one innovation that you thought that the pandemic taught you when it comes to a business like this, especially in entertainment?
I think it taught me only one thing, that you cannot change the course of your life. All you can change is how you face it. So if you are going downhill, you will go downhill. The question is, do you face it by hurting people, or do you face it without any rancor towards anyone? So I think the most important thing this journey has taught me is basically success or failure is not in your hand. Okay? If you really want to assess yourself, look at Ambani and Adani and think about all the good things they may have done in their past lives, basically to be where they are today. And I have not done it. Recognize that. And today is the time that you need to do it. Okay? So I became much more positive towards doing better things. And I said to myself that the only thing that will matter to me is making the customer happy, to make my other constituents happy. But if I can make even one family a cohesive friendship zone, basically, I have succeeded in my objective. So I think I limited my objective. I did not want to become a billionaire or a millionaire all over again. I just limited my objectives. I want to spread happiness. Okay, and that is the way I will do good karmas. And maybe next lifetime I may be born as a Ambani or Adani. And I think that is the only thing I thought about, and that is the only thing I will pursue for the rest of my life. And I'm very thankful to this crisis that came. This is the biggest crisis. I've faced 9 crises so far, and this is the biggest crisis I have faced. And it has taught me how to remain steadfast. And I'm obliged to God for taking me through this journey.
And we're glad that you're out of it, because at the end of the day, I know for a fact that there are few of you on this screen at this point. These are those people. Why have I chosen the 3 of you to be here? Because I know for a fact that, no matter what, you believe in making this happen. You believe in the good for the business. for the industry. And Pankaj, you're one of those people. You talk about, not just your own restaurant. It's also about, the entire restaurant industry as a whole. Akshay, I want to close this with you. I want to ask you, how important is it for cinema theaters to open in Mumbai, and how soon do you want them to open? And do you think they're going to open anytime soon? Because Smash is open. We can go to Smash. We can go to Woodside. But हम theater नहीं जा पा रहे मेरे दोस्त.
Right. The first thing I'll answer is when I think they should be open. I think a month ago. So I think it's already a bit delayed in that sense. But on a serious note, some people may say that cinema is not a priority sector right now. But hey, look at it from the point of view of the lakhs of people who earn their livelihood from this sector. For them, it's as essential as it gets. And not only is it the people who are directly employed by it, there are a lot of vendors who service this sector. This could be everyone from the vendors who supply the food and beverages, the engineers who come and do the maintenance of the projectors and sound systems, the carpenters and plumbers who do the maintenance. Another thing, gaming zones are in some malls. And you live in Mumbai, look at all the malls that exist in the city. There's hardly a mall that is done well without the presence of a cinema.
Yes.
Because a cinema hall and retail are two sectors that complement each other to bring footfalls. Correct. So not only is it the film exhibition sector, but also the retail and food and beverage sector in those commercial spaces, which is suffering because of the delay in reopening. And here's the thing, as you know, in many parts of Maharashtra, especially in rural Maharashtra, permissions have been given to schools to operate from the 5th grade. And if 10-year-old kids can be expected to follow protocols after 1.5 years of conditioning and training, I'm pretty sure adults who go into cinema halls will follow protocols and will be responsible. So I really hope that cinema halls can open up as soon as possible. Not only will it help the sector and the people who earn their livelihood from it, but I think the millions and millions of consumers who, after these 1.5 grueling years, need escapism in some dose of happiness, I think deserve to go out there, enjoy the movies, and forget about the worries, the heartburn, the heartbreak, the loss of lives that they've seen around.
Thank you so much, Akshay, for that. And I'm going to leave that because I really wanted to end with you, because you are literally waiting for that baton to be passed to you, right? Like literally, this is that you represent that industry that's just waiting, saying, "Hum tayar hain, hame khulna hai." Pankaj, of course, thank you so much for joining me, because मैं जानती हूँ कि 10 बजे तक काफी नहीं है. Okay, so hopefully, but as I said, something's better than nothing. So I'm so happy after this I can go out and I can at least go and see my friends at a restaurant and get a meal. So I'm actually grateful for that. And I'm grateful that you joined me for this. And Mr. Murakia, I think more than anything else, what your life has been an example, a shining example of, is how you need to rebuild and you cannot lose your spirit. But today, having you on this panel was important for us, because I know that this was perhaps, as you said in your own words, your lowest low. But here you are, smiling, speaking to us, and still leaving us with hope and encouraging us. I think the youngsters on this panel can truly learn a lot from you. So thank you so much for joining me and for inspiring all of us today. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Rohini.
Thank you so much, Rohini. Thank you.